Yo, what it do, TSF Entertainment fans and YouTube followers and subscribers? What's good tonight? We are going to talk about Bel-Air episodes 4 through 6. And I am with the family, Retro CG, Really BTV, and Jack of Jordans. What's good, y'all? We missed y'all, family. We missed y'all. What's good?
What's up,
What's
everybody?
good? What's up?
What's
I
going
am
on?
here.
I'm here. Roll call. I'm here.
We here.
I am here as well. We ready to get started?
Yeah,
That's
we got to
right.
catch up on this Bel-Air, y'all. We've been behind. We got
Yes,
some things to
indeed.
talk about on this Bel-Air. So let me ask y'all this: what y'all thinking about the show so far?
So
I'm
far,
loving
so
it.
good. I mean, Jeffrey's a hitter. We all know that.
Yeah, he
Um,
is.
this scene time and time again in every video, in every episode, where he had an opportunity, to basically either make somebody come up missing or somebody, he made some plays.
I'm definitely loving it. I was a little leery. I wasn't sure when they made the announcement that they were doing this Bel-Air reboot and it was going to be like a drama. I wasn't really sure, but it's actually pretty good, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I think it's pretty dope. I like the darkness of it. It took a different spin from what I expected. I expected it to be goofy as hell. And I definitely wasn't gonna like it if it was goofy. Let me tell you that now. But I definitely, I'm into it. I'm tuned in. I look for it. As soon as it drops, I'm on it.
I definitely love the darkness about it as well. I definitely love the fact that it's a drama. I can't stand Carlton ass. I was gonna say something else,
Nobody
but
cares.
I can't stand
But
Carlton
you're
ass.
not supposed to like him, so that's you know what I'm saying. You're
Yeah,
not supposed to like
You the
him.
villain.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's
definitely the villain.
yeah. I can't stand his ass. All right, so we're gonna jump over here and talk about this thing. Really be
Yep.
what we got.
So we started the beginning of episode 4. We know at the end of episode 3, we had that big dramatic scene where Carlton and Will both had a game. We know Carlton, was upset that none of the family came to his game. He walked in on Will's game just as he was making the winning shot, and he was a hero, which I'm sure just further fueled this anger that Carlton has and jealousy and resentment he has towards Will. So we start episode 4 off. We see him and his dad playing chess. You could tell this is something that they do regularly, like this is their thing. And he's asking Carlton how he's doing. And Carlton is like, I'm better than last week. Let's just move on. So that tells us a couple of things. One, we know we're a week later. So, so I like the fact that they're not dragging us out like day by day. So it's a week
Mhm.
later. And then we also know that the family we know that Carlton has a past that we don't have all the details on yet. So
Right.
the father seemed to be a little concerned and felt the need to kind of check in on him. In this scene, we also find out that they're getting ready to go out and start canvassing for the campaign, and him and Will are expected to work together. And Carlton sort of leverages that, like if me and Will can work together, we can get. Well, him and his dad sort of bantered back and forth about how many signatures. He was like, "Can I get a VIP trip to Monte Carlo for Grand Prix?" I'm like, "Damn."
Uncle Phil got it.
Right. I mean, it's one thing to
He
go
got
to
it.
Grand Prix, but the VIP, damn.
Uncle Phil got it.
All right, he got that bag. It's all good.
He
I
got a
mean,
big
Yeah.
bag.
I didn't realize. Because listen, Grand Prix is expensive. Monte Carlo is expensive. The VIP level of it is a whole.
Yeah.
But I mean, he didn't even flinch. He was like, "All right."
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
damn,
Right.
okay.
He
He got
Yeah.
that long money. He got that long bread.
He definitely got that.
He
I
got that
Always.
long bread.
because again, he ain't even flinch at that. While this is going on, we see Will with Lisa. They again building up their bond. She opens up to him about her mom. She said, "I normally don't talk to people about my mom that didn't know her, but that lets you know how she feels about Will and like how close they're getting." And while they're having this conversation, we see this sinister dude in a car with tattoos all on his neck, looking at Will and actually ends up following Will. When Will pulls out of the parking lot, he follows him. So without knowing what it really was, what were y'all first thoughts or reaction to that?
I thought that was
some
one of
dudes
Rashad
that
boys.
Yep. I thought the same thing too.
Yep, I
Yeah, I
thought
think
that was
that's
one
what
of
all of us
Rashad
thought.
boys.
All of us felt like
Yo,
that was one of Rashad's boys that
I like the
had
way
an
they
eye
did
on
it
Will.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the way they did that.
Yeah. So, all right. So now after that, we check in with Ashley. We see Viv is doing Ashley's hair and trying to talk to a little bit, bond with her, see what's going on with her, see how things are going. And we see Ashley will not put that phone down, which is pretty indicative of any teenager in this day and age. They're addicted to their damn phones. Didn't really see who she was talking to or whatever, but it was definitely somebody that she didn't want to tell her mama about. And we find out that, again, we have this campaign event at the bowling alley, but it's like a closed event. It's a VIP type, members only, kind of donors only, I should say, event. So this whole episode is about Uncle Phil's campaign, element of his campaign. So that's kind of like the opening sequence where we see where everybody is. So where's everybody with this?
One of the things I liked about that was the sideline conversations, because you see where it's been alluded to or inferred that at some point Vivian was in the spotlight due to her artistry, her painting, and Uncle Phil was kind of like in the background of that, and he supported her through that. So now it's her turn to support him through his campaign aspiration. And so he basically told her, like, look, I know that you ride for me and, you down for the cause. And any other time, what I love about you the most is you're so vocal and everything. But, we did a study, or they did a focus group on, their opinions of the family. And, she's too vocal. So he was just basically telling her that she needed to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
At first she wasn't feeling that, but then she kind of realized that, I got to, take one for the team.
She a lady that speaks her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's something that we see throughout politics. Whenever there's a strong woman, they always want her to dummy herself down or sort of temper herself down. We saw it with most recently we could talk about Hillary Clinton. That was a lot of the feedback with Bill Clinton, Michelle Obama. That was a lot of the feedback with, Barack Obama. And so we see that is definitely something that is always a constant.
Right.
Anything you want to add to that, Juggernaut?
No, you kind of hit it spot on. Just throughout the episodes, you can already see that, she kind of took a back seat to what she was doing, and living her life to be the stay-at-home mom, cater to the family, cater to the husband, and pretty much put her dreams and everything on the back burner. So you could pretty much see that from like maybe the second episode, and you just see it more and more throughout as the series go along.
And
I do like the way they tap into everybody's lives, though. Like in some portion, like in some part of every episode, they tap into what Hillary got going on, and tap into what Ashley got going on, get a little bit more depth with Uncle Phil campaign, more than we ever really seen on the show, and it ain't just about just Will, it ain't just basically around Will.
It ain't the Will show, right?
I do love how they did that, for this series, or for the reboot.
Yeah. And the other thing I was gonna say about Aunt Viv is I can appreciate the fact that they're not playing her character as being resentful. She's like, listen, I did my thing. He supported me, and now it's my turn to support him. They're not playing it like she's resentful, like you took my career. You did. She's not, and it may come up later on, but for right now, it seems like she's okay with the fact that now it's sort of her turn, which isn't that what like marriage should be about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I support you, you support me. 50-50, right? And so she support
me, yes,
right. I feel like the people around her are trying to make her more resented more than she actually does.
That Joan friend,
yeah, her friend, which I like her, but I don't like the fact that she's pressuring her. Like, it's your turn. Why did you ever stop painting? You need to see right. But I don't get the impression that she was upset about it. You know what I'm saying? But so okay, so we got all of that. The other thing we saw is Will, because at the end of the other thing that happened at the end of last episode is Trey let Will know Rashad knows where you are. So we saw Will was looking for Uncle Phil. He runs into G, and he tells Jeffrey, what's going on. And G was like, "Listen, don't bother your aunt and uncle. I got it."
Right. You talking about Rashad?
Like he sit back down and start drinking his coffee. Like
and back on his tablet. He was back on his tablet. He's like, "Yo, what's up? I got
it." Don't bother.
That's the least of your worries.
He was like, "No, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm on."
Don't bother him. It's handled.
Right. So Will even told him. Will even asked him, "Do you really know what I'm here for?" And he was like, "Yeah." He gave him the whole rundown. He gave him a whole rundown.
Like, he let him know.
He gave him the whole 411. Yeah, I know what's up. I even know who's after you right now. Don't worry.
But that's the darkness that I love about it, though. That's the darkness.
He name dropped him. Like, man, that's Rashad.
First and last name.
Right. He had his whole government name. Like, I know that dude.
Yeah.
So
like by Jeffrey being a hit, that's crazy.
Right. So the other thing we saw is Hillary is trying to get into an influencer house. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't know nothing about this. I'd never heard of these influencer houses, but I mean, obviously it's a thing. But I'd never heard of it before.
And the thing about it is, though, wasn't it the previous episode she was accepted, or was it this episode she was accepted into another influencer house, but she didn't want it. She didn't want to go with that type of branding.
I didn't feel like she got into any of them, but I could be wrong. I didn't feel like she got into any of them. I think
she had originally got accepted into another one. She didn't like it. It wasn't for her brand. It wasn't for her liking or whatever.
Maybe I could be maybe.
But we saw that from the first episode that she had a very large presence on social media and she was doing her thing. And Aunt Viv, she ain't really here for it. She's trying to be supportive with her career aspirations, but she wants her to go about it in a more professional, in a more traditional manner.
Traditional is the word, because I think just like a lot of people of that generation, our parents, or they don't understand social media and how like they don't understand that there are legitimate millionaires from social media. Like people can, like, this is a job, and it's getting them outside of that box of understanding that you can actually make a career off of people paying you to tell you their opinion. I mean, tell them your opinion. You know what I mean? So people are getting paid, to tell you whether, and like Juggernaut got a whole YouTube channel telling people about sneakers and what sneakers are good and what sneakers are bad. What do they like? What do they don't like? And there are people that are making millions of dollars doing this, and so but it's hard for people that are, the older generation to understand that this is a real thing. And I think that's where Aunt Viv is. I don't think she wants to be unsupportive, but like you said, I think it's that traditional, like, this is how you make money. You go to school, you get a job, you earn money.
More corporate. She wants her to do it in a more corporate way. She wants her name to have pristine behind it. She wants to be kind of like, a big name behind her cooking, and that's not what she want to do. That's not the audience that she's catering to. And so for her, that's your thing. That's how you would do this, but that's not how I want to do my thing.
Exactly.
Xavier said these influencer houses are really popular and getting pretty dangerous sometimes. Honestly,
I never heard of it. Like, that is the
first time I heard of it.
It's funny you should say that, Xavier, because as we teeter on down the line to episode 6, I was going to mention something about that. Yes, I don't feel like everything is going to be all good up in this influencer house.
No, it's definitely. I don't.
That's with them pranksters.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be all good either.
I'm not feeling them pranksters either.
Right.
Me either. I ain't feeling that at all.
It's not the pranksters that I'm. It's not the pranksters. It's the head of the house. The white
head of the house. He's gonna
what's his name? Kylan. It's him. I don't know about him.
Kyle or something like that.
Yeah, he a little pushy.
Because I feel like he tried to. I mean, we'll get to that, but I feel like he tried to set Uncle Phil up, but it didn't necessarily work. They kind of was able to twist it when he was asking Uncle Phil those questions and he didn't know he was being recorded, but then they were kind of able to twist it. Yeah, I don't think it. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right. I
want to go back to Aunt Viv's painting real quick. That's
the scene that we're on now, where she's cleaning out her room and she's talking to Jones. So go ahead. We're actually at that point.
I feel like there is a story there, and I don't necessarily feel like she stopped painting just because of Uncle Phil's.
I agree. I agree. It's more to that story.
they haven't revealed to us yet what it is, but I do feel like there is something more to that beyond her just stepping out of the art world or
I
being
definitely agree.
an artist, because she's a teacher. She's an art teacher, so you know that she has love for the arts. But I feel like there's more to it, and I think it has something to do with light skin. No offense, little brother.
Light skin, come on, we gonna do that.
No, I love you, little brother.
We gonna do that.
I definitely think it's a story there. I definitely
think it has something to do with
there.
what's his name? So I don't have to
Michael
call him
Ealy.
Brent. Reed.
Yeah.
I think Reed has something to do with it.
So that's what we see. The next scene we see Uncle Viv. Little Aunt Viv is cleaning out her art room, and she's actually getting ready to start painting again. Joan is there encouraging her, and that's when Joan tells her, "Hey, I talked to Reed, and why don't you go check him out?" Right, and
Joan,
again, you could tell that they know each other. Again, we don't know what the history is, but there is a history there. So
yeah, you ready for her?
Yeah, it's something. We'll get to that, but it's definitely something going on there. So we see Will talking to Hillary. I couldn't get it out. Will is talking to Hillary, and Hillary, and he's asking Hillary, he's kind of homesick, and he's talking to her, about missing home and stuff like that. And she tells him, she said, "Listen, Carlton is getting what he wants. Well, you need to get what you want." And she tells him, "Listen, if you want something from mom, you need to leverage that." And so we see him going talking to Aunt Viv, and he basically makes the same deal with Aunt Viv. If me and Carlton can work together, and I get the signatures for the people, can Trey come out here? Because I really miss Trey. And she's a little hesitant, but she agrees to it. She's like, cool. Mm-hmm. So now both of them have a reason to work, right? Both of them have a reason to work hard.
And to get along, because I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to foster them to actually build a relationship with each other that's not venom, because up until this point it's been air every 5 minutes.
It's not organic though, and you can see that it's not organic because they keep
not organic. Yeah,
like even with like here's the common goal. Let's reach this common goal, so you can get what you want, I can get what I want. And let's pretend and keep the charade going as long as we need to in order to make this happen.
Right. Neither one of them are under any illusions that this is a friendship. It is strictly a business deal.
Ebony, I'm going to say they're at the latest, maybe a year or two apart.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they're within 3 years apart. Neither one of them are seniors, but both of them, like Carlton is talking about college. Will isn't so much. So I'm thinking Will's probably like a sophomore, maybe, and maybe Carlton is like a junior.
Or they could be around about the same age, but because Carlton is at a preparatory school, he's in advanced classes. So he may be further along in the coursework, but not necessarily older than Will. Because I always was under the impression that Will was the oldest.
To address every review, I think in the show Ashley is 12. She looked like she's more like 16.
Well,
but I believe she's 12.
They said that's when Aunt Viv stopped painting. I think they said she stopped painting when Ashley came along, right?
Yeah. As we get more down into episode 6, I got theories, so I'll leave them for there.
All right.
I got theories.
So they're out canvassing. Carlton and Will, they're out canvassing. And Will, immediately Carlton is getting door slammed in his face because he's being Carlton.
He's arrogant.
He's in the hood. He's talking to these people. He's not connecting with them, and Will tells them,
he's referring to them, these people. Because remember, Will checked them on
their I did not like that.
I didn't either.
So they end up getting into, their first little argument of the day, and Will is like, "Listen, let me do this. Like, you don't know how to talk to them. You refer, like you said, you're referring to them as these people. Like, you're not really. So let me talk to them." And so we see Will is getting people to sign up. He's getting people to listen, but he's doing it by sort of exaggerating certain things, making promises that he's really not in a position to make. And so Carlton is like, "Listen, yeah, you're getting people to sign up to vote, but you're doing it, you're misrepresenting the campaign. You're making it seem like, he's, defunding the police and all these different things." And Will is like, "Listen, I'm just telling them what they want to hear. Like, That's what it's about, right? That's
Right.
the game we're playing.
Opposed to him getting the name Nino Brown.
And Will's very good at that. He's finessing the situation, but he's also coloring outside the lines because he knows he's got to get a win, and he's motivated to win.
And that's actually what Carlton ends up saying to him later on when they arguing. He says, "I'm tired of you breaking the rules and getting away with it."
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing, like with that saying, I felt like with that saying, there was an area where Will had a little more knowledge on it, like because of backgrounds.
He's from more of an urban background.
Right. So Will was able to, kind of
relate to the people.
Yeah, kind of bait people in. Like he was able to cater to his audience, because it was a different type of audience that didn't want to hear what Carlton was saying. Mm-hmm. So it was easier for Will.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So while they're doing this and they going back and forth and arguing and all of that, Ashley and Hillary, they actually hit their job is to hit the businesses. So they stumble into this record store, and who do we run into? Jazz. Now Jazz is at the record store, and what we find out is Jazz doesn't work at the record store. Jazz actually owns the record store. It used to be his uncle's, and he took over, and he's running this record store. And so unlike the television show where Hillary could not stand Jazz and they just could not, we see that the opposite. They're sort of connecting a little bit. They talking, they vibing, flirting a little bit.
Chemistry.
Right. And she actually even gets him to set up an Instagram account because he not even on Instagram. And she was like, "You got to be kidding me! Like you're not on Instagram. Like what are you doing?" So she gets him to set up an Instagram account. She sets him up. She does videos and gets all her followers to go follow him. And they're actually really vibing. But unfortunately, while this is going on, Ashley pulls the little okie doke and hits her with the, "I'm going to go ahead and go next door." And she really runs off to go out with these friends that she's been texting. "I'm tired of you half the pharmacy and getting away with it, so we even." Lord, Abby. So, all right. Where y'all want to go? Well, we'll go. Well, we already got the Will and Carlton thing. Like I said, they argue, make up, and they decide that, listen, we need to, like, both of us got something to want out of this. We need to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right. We need to make it happen.
Right.
They put their shit on pause. Basically.
Right. Now, Ashley is actually, she ends up over some kids' houses, and it's a dude there, but she's looking for one of the girls that's supposed to be there. But we see her with the dude, and they playing video games and watching TV, and he hits her with the old school, put his arm around her joint, and she leans in. She leans in. Right. He hit her with the
it's the yawn real.
Right.
I'm not too sure about that.
Right. But you get the impression that she was really looking for somebody else, but you also get the impression that she was all right. Like it didn't seem like she was uncomfortable or whatever. So next thing you know, who come rolling up? G.
The house manager.
Right,
and
the house manager on the
pull up. Put a GPS behind
that.
He must got to find my phone app or something because he sure was able to roll up on her.
He got an air tag on her.
We know that certain people are very good at finding where people are located at.
Yeah. Some people are good at that. They absolutely are.
Some people are.
Some people are really good at those type of things.
We ain't gonna say no names.
Ain't no names to be said. I don't know.
No names to be mentioned, right?
Speaking of which, Chris has tried his first crumble cookie.
Yep.
Anyway, so Lord, here he go. He gonna go get him. Anyway, so while all of this is going on, G lets Ashley know.
Thanks, Abby.
G lets Ashley know, listen, you can't just be running off like that. Like if if you want to, you got friends and you want to hang out with your friends, you need to let somebody know what's going on. You need to talk to us. You can't just go running off like that. And she says, listen, they treat me like a baby. Nobody listens to me. They they don't understand it. I'm getting older and I'm growing. And he was like, listen, I get
12.
it. Well, but in her mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were all 12 once, you know. And also being the baby with everybody else having their own thing going on. I'm sure she feels forgotten.
She's part of an affluent family. And she's
right. I mean, think about the episode. Yeah, even think about the episodes. Hell, we barely see Ashley. You know what I'm saying? The storylines just don't revolve around her, other than this one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say this one, and I think the last one was kind of revolving around. Well, kind of, she played a more of a role in it.
Right. Yeah. So
we'll get to that.
Right. So he, you know, anyway, he's letting her know, listen, you can't just be running off like that. And of course, she ain't happy about it, but it is what it is. That's his job. Enough, all in a day's work. We also see G having a conversation with the dude we saw with the tattoo on his neck. Then this is when we find out that he's not with the not with Rashad, but he's actually working with G. And he lets us know that not only have they had an eye on Will the whole time he's been in LA, but they also have had an eye on Rashad and been in touch with him. And Rashad, actually, they had negotiated a payoff for Will. Like, they was going to pay him a certain amount for, you know, but then he found out how rich they were. And now he wanted
to extort them.
Right. And he wanted to add to the money. And dude was like, well, how much does he want? And G was like, it don't matter because we ain't paying it.
Right.
Water got cut off.
All the way. He cut all his utilities off.
Yeah, disconnected.
Right. We're going to get to that. So now while all of this is going on, Uncle Phil is having these private meetings with his donors, and him and his Michelle, Aunt Vi, they actually end up having a real heart-to-heart. But she tells him, she says, listen, you can't run a middle-of-the-road campaign. Like, you're gonna have to make some hard decisions and make some and have some hard, you know, have a hard.
You gotta make a stand.
And you're gonna have to get up out there, right?
Yeah. You know, have a hard stand with some of these issues.
He's playing it safe, and she's telling him playing it safe ain't gonna get them numbers up in the poll.
Exactly. Playing it safe.
If you want black voters, you're gonna have to connect with the black voters.
Right. Playing it safe.
One of the donors even recognized her. One of the donors even recognized her. Who were painting because he had done a mural or something for
the school.
And you could see her just like she was real bothered when she found out that the mural had been torn down and that the painting wasn't there anymore. You could see that went all over her. So, like I said, there's something more about this painting that forced her to stop painting beyond this campaign thing. Yeah, and I think it was old buddy trying to drop something in her. He was trying to drop that vitamin D in her, and she was trying to hear all that. So.
Right.
Alrighty then. So all of this happened, and that was just the first half of the day. So they all come back to the house, and they actually getting ready for an event, an escape party, which was supposed to be a private event. But one of the things that Will had done while they were campaigning was he had told them that they could come to this. He had told the people that they were talking to, they could come to the escape party so they could talk to him and ask him questions. And he was nervous about it. He was like, listen, I can't control that. Like, they can ask me anything that I'm not prepared for. It could be a disaster. Like, you can't, he said, people paid a lot of money to have this private event with me. You know, we're going to have to give money back. We're going to have to, you know, do some things we don't want to do. And Will was like, listen, he sort of was kind of coming at her the same way that Aunt Vi was like, listen, the people want to hear what you have to say. Like, right now, all they think you are is this rich dude. Yeah, you black, but they don't feel like you connect with them. So this is a way for you to kind of connect with them, and you really need to do it. And, you know, he's real hesitant about it, but he actually agrees to it. So this event becomes sort of like a community event, an open event. And it's a good old-fashioned skate party.
And they look like they actually had a good time. He looked like he enjoyed himself. Everybody looked like they enjoyed
Everybody looked like they was having a good time.
Except for Fred Flintstone. Fred Flintstone was the only one who didn't enjoy himself.
Well, we're going to get to him in a second.
But I think that he could have accomplished that without having to be a sellout per se, because he come from humble beginnings, Yamakra. He come from humble beginnings. So if he would have led with that on his campaign trail, I think he would have connected more with the black voters. They don't see that he come from humble beginnings. All they see is you live in a mansion now and you're a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
And even when he was on Big Boy's radio show, he tried to talk about other things and then going back to the money.
But the
And
money,
Big Boy was trying to bait him and going back to the money.
Back to the
I
money.
ain't
Yeah,
Right.
he did. I forgot
Yeah.
about it. Mhm.
But I
Because
agree with you saying.
he
If
wanted
he had put led
controversy.
with that, I think if he had put that out there and led with it, I think people might have, like you said, they might, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people still feel like
it would have been.
It don't matter that you started
yeah.
here. Look at where you are now. But like you said, he didn't even give people opportunity, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at the skate party, and a couple of things happen at the skate party that's interesting, and then we're gonna move into the next episode. So G, this is how you know that G understands his job from all angles, because G ended up inviting Ashley's friends to the skate party. He was like, listen, I get it. You know, you're the baby. People don't want to, respect you. People don't want to see you, that you're growing up. He said, and I understand that. I can't have you just running all over LA.
Right. Because didn't she run out that was SoCal, right? That was SoCal where she was at when he found
her. I guess. Don't get me telling no lies.
She was way somewhere out of Bel-Air. I know that.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't in Bel-Air. They were not in Kansas anymore. No.
Because I think she mentioned to Jeffrey, she was like, my dad will never let me come to South California.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So but G was like, I get it, I understand. So I invited your friends here. So Ashley's happy, but we also see that the girl she was looking for was there. She seemed real happy when she saw the little girl.
She did.
Right.
We'll get back to that. Yeah, they dropped a little breadcrumb there, but we'll get back to that. The other thing we saw was Will had a run-in with Lisa's dad in the bathroom, and he's got on his full. The first time he met him, he had on a suit, but this time he got on his full uniform. Come to find out, Lisa's dad is the chief of police.
It's 12. They let 12 in the building.
12. They let 12 in the building.
Yeah, he commissioner.
Commissioner, okay.
Yeah.
Commissioner. And Will is dealing with some PTSD from what happened to him. So he immediately is having these flashbacks of being in this bathroom by himself with this police officer, and it's you could see him physically having a response. And
it's ruminating all through him. Yep.
Right. And Fred is dropping these hints like, oh yeah,
you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Right. You don't have nothing to worry about, right? Like, because Fred knows it's more to the story about Will coming out there. He don't know all the details.
Because he was looking side out when he first entered.
He knows more to this story. He definitely knows more to the story. But and again,
we don't dig into it.
Well, the other I'm gonna put and we haven't gotten quite to this yet, but the other thing that I thought about after the last episode 7, the fact that all of them were really good friends. We know that they keep alluding to something happening with Will's daddy and something happening between the sisters when they fell out. And the fact that Uncle Phil called Fred in episode 7, he calls Fred his best friend or his former best friend. Yeah. Also, we know that Aunt Vi was best friends with his wife, with Lisa's mom, who passed away. So they might know stuff about Will and that whole story that we're not privy to yet, which makes him give a bigger side eye to why is Will out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more it's something with Will and his father and them falling out. And I know a lot of us got theories about it, but it's something there. And I feel like that's where the side eye was coming from. But we definitely know that he's not the one to get any ammunition on Uncle Phil. And I hate to feel like he's going to get it, but
I don't think it's going to work to his advantage. We'll get there when we unpack that. But another thing that was very important in that scene, too, at the skating rink is when Uncle Phil gets ready to give his speech.
Go ahead. I was going to say that.
The people that showed up for the campaign, he kind of looked at Vivian a little bit, and he was like, should I? And she was like, yeah, do it. And he basically went ahead. He answered one of the constituents' questions regarding how he felt about the police.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he tried to play it safe as possible. He was like, well, we can afford to defund the police, and they got enough millions where they can still thrive, but we can afford to reallocate those funds to other things that are more important. And so we saw Fred wasn't really happy with that comment. So that kind of right there opened Pandora's box with him, because from that point it's open season with Fred. Like, oh, okay, you gonna blast the LA PD? I'm commissioner or whatever,
right?
Yeah. So there was bad blood right there. And then I think at the end of that episode, we found out that Viv did go ahead and say, "Yeah, I'll bring Trey out this weekend for you or whatever." So he goes up to his room to tell Trey, "Yo, you coming out here or whatever." And then that's when Trey tells him that Rashad's dead. What
but a quick pin in that. The other thing is Will is upset with Lisa.
Oh yeah,
he got mad at Lisa. So.
Yeah, he got mad. I didn't understand why he got mad at her because he was like, "You didn't tell me that your dad was 12." I'm like,
your dad 12.
Yeah.
But I think
why does it matter?
Their relationship.
But I think that goes back to his trauma.
Right.
Like,
why does it matter?
But I think that goes back to his trauma. He's just again
PTSD shit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's taking it out in the wrong way, but he's just processing his own trauma.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But he don't want to unpack it yet to nobody that don't know about it. You know,
right?
That's
what's
holding him back.
Right.
I mean, that's what's holding him back ultimately because he don't want to like. He feels though he can't talk to anybody about it.
Yeah, he can't process.
That's not something he could just openly bring up anyway because of how Uncle Phil got him out of jail. Because Uncle Phil could end up in jail.
So don't talk about it.
And really, that's what Carlton really needs to be for him. That's what his cousin really need to be for him as a confidant. And right now, he don't want to necessarily tell Lisa about it because he's scared that he's gonna run Lisa off when she find out the truth. He can't talk to his lacrosse stick up his ass cousin.
Right.
He want to go talk to his aunt about it, but she gonna hush him up because y'all they in campaign mode right now. This can't get out of the streets. So he really ain't. He probably can talk to Jeffrey about it now. He can probably talk to Jeffrey about it.
Lisa dad is 12.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell her nothing.
Can't tell her nothing.
You ain't telling her nothing. We ain't doing that.
But he run upstairs to tell Trey that my people gonna let you come out. He's all excited about it. And Trey tells him, "Yo, Rashad is dead. Got shot up in the strip club." What was your first thoughts?
My first thought was Jeffrey. Jeffrey sent them hitters out there, boy.
He should have tried to change the terms of the deal.
Yeah, because then he had already paid him $10K.
Yeah, already paid him $10K. Yeah,
Jeffrey and them had already paid $10K for him.
He didn't know they had money. He didn't know until he saw Will on that video in Bel-Air Academy. He was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! Like he's just in LA slumming."
Jeffrey definitely made the call to go ahead and take care of that. Like he probably wasn't a trigger man. Right. He might as well be because he made the call. They had eyes on him beforehand. So therefore, and by him trying to extort him, they were just like, well, it's easy to get rid of him at this point.
And so being that they probably got people in Philly still. They probably got people in Philly still.
Hey, Mark.
And he had a battle rap that weekend too.
That was episode 4, right?
So I don't know how that goes because
that was 4.
His stage name was Easy the Block Captain. So he battle raps. So he also had a battle rap going on too. That's going to pay a nice little amount of money.
But I think his character was supposed to die anyway. Like I think his character was supposed to die. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they killed him off for that. I think he was supposed to die. So but anyway, we don't know.
So when we move into episode 5, PA to LA. So you see Will picking Trey up from the airport. They ride through the streets of California. Trey like, "Oh, this John crazy. Oh, this is crazy." They enjoying the Lexus, the little Lexus. Lexus play this for me. So he's getting to see the benefits of how his friend out here living. And so I guess Trey didn't know that his family was rich either.
But it's one thing to hear it; it's something else to see it.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Because they not just like, okay, there's levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they not just living good. Their house is ridiculous. Like the house. Can you imagine somebody picking you up from the airport and that's where they take you? That's like, I'm gonna give y'all a quick example.
Better than any Airbnb I ever seen.
Right. Let me give y'all a quick example. One time I was in Indianapolis visiting a friend of mine, and we decided we were going to drive down to visit a friend of ours we went to college with in Kentucky, right, in Louisville. And it's a couple of hours from Indianapolis, but we said we were going to drive down to visit her. She said, anyway, we were going down there. So you know how you got the GPS and you driving, right? So we driving. And we get into this nice neighborhood, right? We keep driving. The neighborhood gets nicer. We keep driving. I'm like, yo, this shit is sick. And you know you on the GPS, so you know you're getting closer and closer and closer. Man, we got to her house and pulled up. We just sat there for a minute like, yo, this her house for real. Like, it is huge. Like, it's one of those neighborhoods where everybody got golf carts driving around the neighborhood. It wasn't a gated community, but it was like one step down from a gated community. Her house, this is how big her house was. She had the whole downstairs area. I mean, she had a whole apartment downstairs where her father lived with them, and they still had enough room to have a theater room in the basement. They had a game room. They had a full pool table. They had a bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this was just the basement. They had a pool. They had, I mean, it was upstairs. Her son had his own playroom. That wasn't his bedroom. It was just a playroom. You know, the house was nice. And I mean, she was real humble about it. Like, she wasn't arrogant or nothing. But we were just like, shit. So if she had said over the phone, yeah, you know, I live in a real nice house. We thinking 4 or 5 bedroom, 2-car garage. No. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a difference of, yo, my aunt and uncle, they living good, and then you pull up, they're in a fucking mansion.
Literally.
Like, that's a whole nother right. And you also remember these kids never left Philly.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be different if they traveled and they never left Philly. So
I mean, I definitely can see that. Definitely.
So when they pull up to the house, he gets out, and of course he goes inside. He's like, "Yo, is this a house or a museum?"
Right.
And then, but you also see
artwork.
You see where Will's kind of evolving a little bit, because you know he started talking about the artwork and things like that. And Trey wasn't impressed. He was like, "Huh?" And so you know he see Carlton come down the stairs. And, you know he makes some kind of comment about Carlton. You know, kind of borderline disrespectful comment towards Carlton.
It wasn't borderline.
But you actually see Will take up for him. Will defended him.
Yeah, he did. He really, but you know what? I think that just goes back to, at the end of the day, he's still family. Like, I can talk shit about him, but you can't talk shit about him.
Right.
Right. That's still family. Plus, I think that he is trying to get along with him. Like, I think he's trying to make it happen.
I think he tried to just find his way through Bel-Air too. You know, he's just kind of like, well, nah, he's really not like that, because this is kind of like what they do out here. So you may find it corny, you know, and all,
but this is their lifestyle.
Norm, this is a everyday thing out here.
Yeah,
you know, this is what lifestyle. They do out here. It wasn't South Central LA. He was at Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so you see Uncle Phil and Hillary are packing up the pool house. He's helping her pack because she's now getting ready to move into the influencer house. And you see a real tight bond with them, which most fathers probably have with their daughters. So I really like their relationship. And we later on find out in this episode why he has the affinity he has towards her.
Yeah.
But basically, he don't really care about her moving out to an influencer house. No, he don't really give a fuck about any of that. As long as she happy and she doing something beneficial with her life, she's doing something positive with her life, you know, she's happy, he's happy. And so, you know, they kind of briefly have a conversation about the tension between her and Vivian. And he was like, listen, y'all need to get on the same page. Y'all need to, you know, fix whatever issues that y'all have between each other, because your mom really does love you. She really does want to support you. She just don't understand all this. She don't understand all this.
I think her mom is projected. That's what I actually think. I think her mom's rejected because she can't do what it is that she wants to do. She can't follow her passion, or she feels as though she can't follow her passion. That I feel as though she's projecting that.
But I think a lot of it is her ignorance to
this whole. Yeah, yes. I think part of it too. Yeah, but I agree, Damon. I think some of it is that she's got the guts to not follow the roadmap that was laid for her. But I also do think that some of it is I just don't get it, because her mother was an artist, so she understands not having a traditional 9-to-5 job kind of thing. But I just think that a lot of it comes back to she doesn't get this whole, because you saw it even when you saw it in the next scene when they're getting ready for Hillary's having a dinner for her new influencer house, and Uncle Phil, they're going through the players, they're going through the people in the house, and he's telling her how much these people made, and she was like, wait a minute, he made $1 million. Yeah, he made $1 million telling people what kind of wine to drink. Like, you see that it's finally like, wait a minute, what? Like, you mean she could really become a millionaire doing this shit? Like, I don't think she sees it past a hobby that's paying her a couple of $100 a month. I don't think she sees it as what it really. And a lot of people, again, like I said before, a lot of people don't understand that. Like I said, there are people who are making millions of dollars doing this.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Definitely.
Did y'all peep that scene between Aunt Viv and Will and Trey when Will takes Trey to see Aunt Viv and he gives her the cookies? Mm-hmm. You know, they have a little bit of conversation, and you know, Trey was a little audacious for thinking before he even discussed with his friend or that he coming back home. Yeah, and you saw right then in that moment that Will was kind of like, this is not something I really thought about.
Like this, like it ain't bad out here. This is a come up.
Yeah, you just put something on my mind that I wasn't thinking about. So, but he's just happy to see his friend or whatever, and right there, that just started the tone right there. And you saw that Aunt Viv let him handle the situation the way he chose to. She didn't correct him. You know, she didn't try to get involved with that. She just kind of overlooked the comment. But you saw her processing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because then she go jump on the phone with Will's mom.
Yeah, she did. And Will's mama let her know quick. Listen, I'm the mama.
Yeah.
If I say he coming home, he coming home.
He coming home.
Right.
It was nice.
But I like it created like that created a whole other backstory. Cause she like, well, this is not about Will. And then she, you know, you hear on Vibe, she just kind of like, we hear Vibe, she just kind of like, is it, you know, the whatever. So it kind of creates a whole other backstory.
There's beef.
Yeah. It was something else between them.
Yeah, it's beef.
Yeah, we're just gonna see just unfold a little bit later. But I like that part too. Because it's definitely something else.
So it was nice to see Dwayne Martin. It was nice to see Dwayne Martin because you know him and Will Smith are real good friends in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to see him playing Uncle Phil's campaign manager. And
Jazzy Jeff, I mean, just as a sidebar, Jazzy Jeff actually hosts the podcast
for this, yeah.
So this,
Mm-hmm. So he was basically telling him, what was his name? I can't think of what his name was at the moment, but he was telling him basically, you're up 5% on black voters, but that's not really where you need to be in the numbers. It's positive, but you know, you get ready to get some backlash on them comments that you made.
Right. It's positive, but at what cost? Yeah.
And so, you know, Will comes in, he introduces him to Will, and you know, he bring that goofy ass Trey in there. And you know, I can't even remember what was the comment that Trey made. It was some kind of comment that was made that kind of made the campaign manager ask, like, is there something I should know about? And he was like, no.
Because he got shot. He talked about him getting shot.
Yeah.
Trey talked about him getting shot.
It was like, it's definitely a lot better than getting shot. Or something like that.
Right.
Something to that effect.
Right. He was like,
whoa. Whoa. Hold the hell on. This ain't what the hell.
Will should have checked him right then and there. Will should have checked his ass right then and there. Will should have been like, listen here. You borrow around these rich folk, you don't need to be popping off at the mouth. You just need to sit back and be quiet.
You don't always know what to say out of his damn mouth. So
that's true.
But he kind of caught on to it a little bit though.
He did like, a little bit.
Keep Philly in Philly, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, don't say nothing about what's going on to Philly. Keep Philly in Philly. This is something completely different. And my uncle got this whole image that he's trying to, you know what I'm saying, take care of and run this campaign. Like, Will probably should just put him on game. Like, you know, he's running this, and the other. You kind of got to be careful what you say and what you do out here, especially around, you know, this family.
Yeah.
Even though Trey probably was like, you fake as hell.
So when you get upstairs to Will's room, they get up to Will's room, you know, they sitting there and they chilling, they talking, and you know, he come with little sideline comments about the books. He's like, books, you reading? And so you again,
you reading
that Will is evolving.
Right.
He's getting cultivated to the lifestyle in Bel-Air.
Right. But Trey got that.
Like, you reading a book?
As you see in that episode, Trey has that crab in a bucket mentality. Like, I'm down, and I'm gonna hold you down as long as I possibly can, because now I'm seeing you do things that's not making me comfortable. So since I'm uncomfortable and you don't want, and you want better for yourself, I'm gonna try to hold you as long as I can to just keep you right where I want you at.
Yep.
That's a crab in a bucket
God
mentality.
forbid you evolve to something past where I'm at right now. God forbid you start doing better than where I'm at.
Because he said,
and it's that hood pride too, man. Like it's like a hood thing. Like
didn't he say that to him?
It's kind of like the dumbest thing ever though, but it's kind of like a hood thing. It's like it almost like Trey was like, bro, you're reading books. Like, what's wrong with reading the book? Like, it just seemed like it was an issue. Like, you're not supposed to do nothing but, play ball, represent, your city, whatever. You're not supposed to evolve ever. That's kind of like it's just hood.
Right. But did he say that to him standing in the room? He said, he said, I see you went off living your life. He said, so I guess I'm supposed to sit by the phone and wait for you to tell me how good everything going. Or something like that, or something on that nature, on that lines he told me.
Yeah. He definitely said something like that.
Yeah, we'll get there, but I guess I have the unpopular opinion on this, but we'll get there.
That's true. Why So said Trey started seeing Will how Will was seeing Carlton.
Oh, that's deep.
That is. How do we just lose Chris?
That's deep, Wise. I never thought of it like that, but yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
We just lost Retro.
He can let himself back in. He'll be back. He must have just had
he
probably got a phone call or something. But I go. So we see that Hillary is getting ready for her dinner in the influencer house. I mean, she invited the people from the influencer house, and we've got Cairo, who's the head of the house. It's his house, and he made his money off of wine influencer, right? Then we have I don't have my notes in front of me, but we have another. She's luxury travel. We have another one who she goes by the she's gender. She goes by the pronoun of they, and she deals with like love, like LGBTQIA, like
the one Ashley was talking to.
Right, that's the one Ashley ends up talking to. And then we have,
the
brothers who are pranksters, right? And Hillary got the whole dinner laid out real nice, but she's got hidden cameras everywhere because again, these people live their lives on social media, so everything is videotaped, everything is content for them. And so we see them coming into the dinner. Hillary is very nervous, but everybody comes to the dinner. Yeah, I think she was nervous. You don't think she was nervous?
I think she was nervous.
Confident.
Nah, I think she was nervous.
Well, I think she was confident, but she was. I think she was nervous. I don't know. I'm not going, but I mean,
I think she was more so unsure, if anything.
Well, well, now that you say that, I kind of more so felt like she was not sure how the evening was going to go with her family. Not so much about her being nervous about the influencers being there because she was in her element and she's on her own turf. So, but I think she was more so concerned about the reception, particularly her mom. I think that was
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
I really think that was her biggest, sick feeling in her stomach. Like, how is mom going to get along with all this?
Yep, I agree with that. But we also see Trey shows up drunk. We see Trey drinking. And
he was busting down the Hennessy. He was busting down
right. And as the night went on, I
don't know what he was drinking, but I'm like, all these cameras, all these folks in this house, y'all don't see this teenager over here at the bar getting messed up. Yeah, he was getting smashed.
He was definitely getting drunk. Go ahead. I just took over since you had to step out. Go ahead.
No, I had technical difficulties. Sorry, the hotel internet.
It's all good.
I lost my place now. You're doing a good job.
Oh Lord. So while they're at the dinner, Trey actually assuming that I feel like he assumed that Carlton already knew. So he actually goes to Carlton. He tells Carlton basically the whole story of why Will is there. That the fact that Uncle Phil hooked him up and got him out of trouble and made some phone calls. And of course, Carlton is the last person that needs that piece of information.
And you saw him process that all over his face. I mean, looks can kill.
Right.
And he's absolutely pissed. Later on in the episode, we see him confront his dad about it. And I mean, in my opinion, he was downright disrespectful. Like,
that was disrespectful.
I mean, I understand that he was upset, but there's still a level of respect that you have to maintain, or you should maintain with your father. But in my opinion, he was just downright disrespectful. But
I'm ready for Uncle Phil to throw some hands at this point, because even with Will in the last episode, they just cap off at the mouth a little too much for me for them to be boys.
Do a whole lot of selling of the wolf tickets.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of cursing
and a lot of cussing, a lot of profanity.
These some grown ass boys living in my house.
Right.
During the dinner,
for real, Wise, you ain't lying. He
did.
He blew that
he did. He blew that spot up real serious.
Yeah, he was showing out bad.
Right.
So,
the other important thing that happened at the dinner was we saw Ashley having a conversation with I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, y'all. The young lady that that has the pronoun they. And she talked a lot, talked a lot about, love and sexuality and how you don't have to, you could, it's okay. You don't have to know, you don't have to put a label on it. And really just explaining to Ashley the difference between being asexual, bisexual, gay, and again, it further lends the hint that Ashley maybe is questioning some things as far as her sexuality is concerned.
That 12-year-old dialogue was crazy.
But I appreciate the fact that she had the conversation.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that too. Definitely. Most definitely.
Right. James Avery would never allow that. Hell nah. The real Uncle Phil wouldn't have had all that. Nah.
Hell no.
So the other thing that happened in this that was interesting, like Retro said earlier, we see where Kylo is having a conversation with Uncle Phil, and he's explaining how Hillary was a preemie and how when she was in that hospital room as a baby and they didn't know whether she was gonna make it, all he wanted is for her to just be happy. And he was like, if she's happy, I'm good. Healthy and happy. Yeah, healthy. I'm sorry. And he was like, as long as that's what's going on, I'm good. Like I'm not putting all those expectations on her. I just want her to be happy. And that's why I say I felt like in that moment, I felt like he was trying to set Uncle Phil up. But he ended up getting a really good soundbite. But I think that could have went left. You know what I'm saying? He could have been like,
depending on what Phil said, exactly. Depending on what Uncle Phil would have talked about, that could have went left. But the fact that it was a positive affirmation for his daughter, it just happened to play out. Because the way I took it is, I felt like old boy was just searching for content. Mm-hmm. Because kind of like the expectation he was putting on Hillary last episode was like, look, you got to get this content out. No matter what you got to do, you got to go viral. Right. So I think he's looking for some dirt to reveal from the family. It just happened to be some positive dirt.
The other thing was the brothers played a prank, which is what they're known for. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up,
these black ass brothers.
That crossed the line, man.
Yeah,
cross the line ain't even the word I would like to use.
They should have left it at the twerking teddy bear, and that's it. But who strips down naked in somebody's house?
Asshole naked, it just runs through somebody's house.
The fact that their name
is like when you shot in the ass.
I knew that they were going to be clowns.
Right.
I knew that they were going to be trouble.
Right.
Right. So that was pretty much dinner. And unless y'all remember something else.
Did you talk about the scene with the chick the traveler, and she was talking to Aunt Viv about?
Oh yeah, she did
create her social media presence.
She did.
She was basically telling Aunt Viv, like, listen, all the places that you've traveled and you're cultured and you're an artist, like, I could create content for you. You would be, great for social media. So I think at that moment, Aunt Viv actually processed the power behind social media. She's basically telling her, like, listen, like, we're influencers and we endorse different brands. He does colognes and men's skincare and all this stuff. He does, I do, resorts and hotels and 7-star hotels and things like this. It's not just about a fandom on social media and that's it. It's about the power behind their products that they're endorsing.
Right.
Exactly. So later on that night, after Carlton,
I agree, Xavier. Very uncouth.
Exactly, especially around my food. We got a problem around my food.
No class.
So after Carlton confronts his dad, he then goes and confronts Will, and he basically lets Will know, listen, I know this about you, and unless you want everybody to know this about you, you're gonna stay the hell away from Lisa, stay the hell away from me. And Will agrees to do it because he really don't have much of a choice. Like, what are you gonna say?
I felt as though that was like the most sucker move that Carlton could ever possibly do. I felt it was weak. Just because you can't get closer to her the way or back to the way that you wanted to be, that this was your only play, and it was weak, and it was a weak play. Yeah. Like, you trying to use your cousin, you try to use the possibility of exploiting your cousin to gain further interest from Lisa, who absolutely has no interest in you.
None.
Don't like it.
Right.
That was a weak move. That dropped this Carlton down another tier.
All right.
Yeah, because when he ran up on his father, Uncle Phil should put him on his ass then in the study, because he was like, come in and close the door. We'll talk about it then. I really expected for Phil to kind of roll up on him and like, listen, this grown folk business, you need to follow about this business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. But
again, go ahead.
I'm not going to say I relate to Carlton's feelings. I can kind of understand Carlton's anger just a tad bit, because he's been raised to live his life a certain way. He's been raised to follow all the rules, and now he's looking at his father as the hero that does everything right, never colors outside the lines or whatever. And to hear that his father went to these lengths for his cousin, at the same time, I would have been more mad about it if he done it for a stranger than you doing it for your family. Family gonna take care of family regardless. And so the fact that he was just so upset that he done it for Will, I didn't understand that part. I understand that you've kind of been always hard on me about living my life, and I feel like some of the anxiety is that Carlton is having. It's got something to do with Uncle Phil. It's got something to do with Uncle Phil, how he's been reared, the expectation that he's had for him.
I think it got something to do with Lisa.
You think it has something to do with Lisa?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I think the family walks around Carlton on eggshells. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I'm not trying to wish nothing out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of a suicide attempt or something like that, like something really, really serious.
Yeah.
Because the way they walk around on eggshells around him, it's like they don't want to make him too mad. I don't think they're afraid of him, like from the point of view of like that, but I think they're afraid of his reaction to stuff.
So you think that they kind of shelter him a little bit?
I don't know if it's so much shelter, but I just think I think it's like we don't want to make him too mad. So
he's definitely sheltered.
I get that.
I mean, I think all of them are sheltered. I mean, they grew up. I think all of them
they more so cater to Carlton, like like what you said, Russ.
I think Hillary a little bit more raw.
With him coming in the study with Uncle Phil, there's no way in hell you can tell me you rolling up on your pops like that, the way you talking to him, and not get your ass folded up in some kind of way. Like, look here, they ain't got nothing to do with you. Mind your damn business, and you better not say nothing. He basically just like tiptoed around the whole situation and how Carlton was talking to him. So it's more so like they cater to his his feelings, his needs, whatever it is. They cater to his anxiety.
I'm about to get ready to say that they have to do that because of his anxiety.
But that's what I'm saying. But I think it was deeper than that. Like I think because like even Lisa keeps saying to Will, like, you really don't know what Carlton has dealt with. Like you really like it's something.
She asked him that in the episode. Do you know what your cousin has been through?
Right. It's definitely deep. It's something deep. It's something definitely deep. We know that
you might be right. It might be a suicide. I never thought about it from that angle.
Yeah, I mean, because again, the way they don't. I don't feel like they walk around him like they're scared of him. I think it's like they're scared of
what he's gonna do,
what he could do. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they scared of Carlton. Like they're afraid to be in a house with their own child. But I think it's that, okay, like the fact that Uncle Phil felt like he had to explain what he did for Will and trying to get Carlton to understand that, well, Will, everybody makes mistakes and we all have to show grace. And if we can help, we should help. Like, I felt like he was trying to get him to understand, listen, I did it for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna tell me they ain't never built the rules for Carlton. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Even up at that school, you can't tell me that when Carlton first got up in that school, he was the man around town. Because they had to come in there and flex their weight with Will. So you can't tell me that his family and his family's influence.
But Will was such a different flavor, and they didn't even understand the flavor, the colorway that it was getting with Will. So since they saw it, they was kind of like,
I would be afraid to be in the house with a crackhead. He's definitely a cocaine.
But when they saw
that's not coke he's snorting. I don't care. That's not coke.
When they saw it, they kind of was like,
don't get evidence.
Yo, this your cousin? Like, he's like such the opposite.
I don't care if it
like he's such the opposite of you, But then they start accepting it, especially because he played for the basketball team. So it made it a little bit easier for them to accept what he was.
Whereas you're right, he is a unpredictable loose cannon. I agree.
He absolutely is that,
because we all felt in that moment at the basketball game when he looked out there and didn't see his family in the audience.
I definitely thought he was gonna do something stupid.
I thought he was getting ready to wild out too. I thought that he was getting ready to go in there and make a scene at that basketball game and embarrass Will and embarrass himself and embarrass the family. So that goes back to the unpredictableness because you just don't know what this fool's going to do. And I don't know. Let me send Ebony this link. Ebony told me she going to come on with us.
Oh, Lord. So while all of this is going on, Uncle Phil has VIP tickets to this concert for some rapper dude that they are in love with, that Trey is absolutely in love with this dude. They go to the concert, they got the VIP, they walk in the private entrance and they walking past, the line and, they at the VIP reception and they get to meet the rapper dude and Trey don't know what to say to himself. Like really just enjoying this VIP life, right? Now while that is going on, we see that Aunt Viv is down at the art gallery with Mr. Slickster, with Mr. Reed, and we finally get to meet Reed. And I'm just going to say I don't like him. I don't like him.
But you know what? He's a little bit typecasted. Michael Ealy, right?
Michael Ealy, yeah, that's his real name, yeah.
Every movie
because he light skinned.
Even in that movie he played with DMX, Never Die Alone. Every movie he plays this eerie, creepy, stalkerish character.
Which I hate because he is like extremely creepy. It was one movie he was playing up under the bed. That's neither here nor there. I'll let you go. But he was up under the bed. He was just chilling. But that's neither here nor there.
Was that the one with Megan Good in it when he had bought the house?
Yeah, man. He was just under the bed, just hanging out.
Yeah, he's every character. So when I saw him, I was like, okay, he ain't good. He ain't here for nothing good. It would have been surprising if he would have played it. Well,
they got a light-skinned brother playing a dark role.
It wasn't too bad to think like a man, but all the rest of the movies and stuff he played something creepy.
Well, Barbershop he wasn't, but it got a light-skinned brother playing a dark role. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely something about him that don't sit right with me. He was hyping that Viv up, talking about she ready to get showing, and he got a spot in his gallery waiting for her, and he was just doing too much. For me, he was landing on a little thick. Just a little.
Xavier, I said
like he was walking around with his little wine glass.
Won that rap reality show that they had on Netflix that T.I. them was doing. He won that show, but I don't.
Oh, that's a real rapper.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't even know that. I thought he was just some dude. I ain't know he was.
I agree, Xavier. He ain't
walking around with a little dumb wine glass and.
He ain't selling up the stage. I said the same thing too. I was no.
I know who that.
I wasn't happy with his character.
Trey on crab ass. You D-smoke.
Right. So while they're at, so a couple of important things happen while they're at the concert. The first thing is Uncle Phil gets a message, and come to find out Lisa's daddy and some councilman or what have you, they're talking to him about, they want him to retract his statements or clarify the statements he made about defunding the police. They were like, listen, it ain't a good look. You know, if you want our support, you need to clarify, change it, fix it, whatever. And Uncle Phil was like, nah, like I said what I meant what I said. Like I stand in it. And they were like, well, you're gonna regret it. He was like, I mean, do what you need to do. Like, you know, do your best. But you could tell he was a little nervous, even though he was standing in his shit. But you could tell he was a little nervous. You could feel it. I felt it at least. That he was a little nervous.
Who was the other dude that rolled up on him with them?
He was like a councilman or something. Like they introduced him. He was a politician. I don't remember what his exact title was.
He was a politician too. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. So that was going on, and while they were and then the other thing that happened at the concert, Will and Trey finally had it out about Will staying in Bel-Air and not coming back to Philly. And Trey was like, stop lying to me. You already made up your mind. Just go ahead and say it. And Will was like, what you talking about? He was like, I know you. You already made up your mind. You're not coming back to Philly. He was like, just be, stop being so, basically, you tell him stop being a bitch and just tell me the truth. And Will was like, I haven't made up my mind yet. Like, I don't know. And Trey was like, but you do know. And they ended up getting into a real nasty argument that kind of spilled over once they got back home.
I think in that moment, Will may have been leaning towards Stan, but he was at a crossroads, and Trey punk ass just kind of pushed him over that cliff.
Well, I think he had made up his mind when he went and talked to Hillary. When he went and talked to Hillary, and Hillary was telling him like, "Look, you got a better life out here. You got a better opportunity. Why would you want to go back there or whatever?" I think he was already kind of been wrestling with since Trey planted the seed earlier on in the episode. He had kind of already been soul searching. What is the right thing to do? Do I need to go back in and stand tall for my neighborhood, or do I need to do what makes me happy? And I think, seeing what Hillary was getting ready to do, step out on faith and chase her dream and do what she wanted to do with the influencer house, I think that conversation made the decision very easy for him. And I also think that Trey's behavior
played a part in it.
Played a very big part in it.
So, we're going to get back to Trey and Will because there's a whole lot. I mean, that fight spills over to the house, but a couple of other things that we sort of didn't hit. We see Hillary and Ashley having a really important conversation where Ashley opens up to Hillary about the fact that she likes a girl. And I can appreciate that Hillary didn't give her any crazy response. She was like, okay, is she cute? And, she just, however she might have felt personally, she didn't act no different, no kind of way.
Right.
And Ashley was like, well, yeah, she is cute, yada, yada, yada. And she was like, do I need to tell mom and dad? And she was like, you don't need to tell anybody. Like, you're young, you're figuring it out, and you don't need to tell anybody, And I think that's what Ashley needed. And she even told her, she said, listen, I'm moving out the house, but I always got your back. Like, if you need me, I'm here. So I think that was an important point that we saw Ashley being able to talk to Hillary about how she's feeling. And then we also see that Carlton and Lisa are working on Lisa's mom's memorial. And I think Carlton felt like he in there. Carlton thought he was in there. They was working together, and Carlton leaned in for that kiss.
Well, wasn't there a scene? Wasn't there a scene after Carlton had ran up on Will and threatened him? Stay the fuck away from Lisa.
Yeah, that was after he found out about
But wasn't there a scene where Lisa had came over to the house and
he played it to the left? Yeah,
he played it to the left. Yep.
It was.
She's trying to figure out. She knows something ain't right either because she's like, no, this ain't normally his energy.
I can send her the link.
Okay.
Abby, I send you the link. Calm down. Not calm down, but let me send you the link.
And so, the thing about it is, though, he used this as an opportunity. He uses the girl's planning her mother's memorial. and you use this as an opportunity to try to slide in and get back in, and she not
Well,
feeling.
they were vibing, like they was clicking, laughing, reminiscing. Like it's easy to get caught up. It's easy to get caught up
for him, but that shit don't sell for her. She ain't in, and she.
Oh no, she's not. Listen, I don't think that she is in any way, shape, or form confused about anything. She absolutely has no intention of getting back with that dude. Like there's no blurred lines as far as that's concerned for her. You know what I'm saying? Like she is not interested. And again, I think it's the stuff that we don't know.
Here go Xavier. Let me see what Xavier say. I got it, Crystal.
Y'all know Xavier is Xavier's hilarious.
It's facts though. He is the danger. Shit, you a crackhead.
But he ain't lying, right? You the one that's out here getting high and shit, and you worried about what Will gonna do.
You the danger, right? Right. You the danger.
So all of that was going on. We get back to the house, and Carlton and Trey. Will and Trey. Hey, Ebs. She's on. You on mute, boo. Oh, she knows it. Okay. And Will and Trey's fight carries over into the house. It even gets physical. And Will actually could have whooped Trey's ass, but he pulls up. But he goes and lets Viv know, listen, he need to go home. Like, we had a fight. He ready to go. I'm ready for him to go.
Right, he need to go home right now.
Yeah, and Viv was like, why don't we wait a day or two? Let's see if y'all make up. And Will was like, nah, he got to go.
Yeah, because he wanted to leave. He was like, I'm getting ready to leave right now.
Yeah.
Okay, leave.
Right. All right, then.
But the things that he said to him and the way that I understand you're upset. And Crystal, you had to make me, because I was very upset about this scene. I was very.
That's what I was gonna say. I have an unpopular. I think I have and let me be honest. My first reaction was everybody else's, but then I sort of thought about it, and there's another side to this, and I don't think a lot of people are seeing it from Trey's point of view of it. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, finish what you're saying. I'm sorry, then I'll say what I was saying.
I get the point, okay, but at the same time, like I was getting ready to say, he was getting ready to go to Virginia anyway. He was getting ready to go off to school anyway. So to me, I felt like there's a little bit of jealousy because he made those comments. You always win, and he was hating like Carlton was hating. You always win. Right. You always lucked up. You always lucking up. You always got the girls. You always got this. Like,
he's right. He was getting ready to leave anyway.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
what you gonna do.
But that part about him saying, you're the reason why we're in this situation. Yes, I got shot. We should have been at the park to begin with. I understood that part. I did. I understood that part. But he went left when he was talking about you a sellout. You sell out your neighborhood. He was getting ready to go to Virginia anyway. What are you gonna be mad then too?
But right. I think all of that is true. I think there's an element of jealousy, but I also think there's the element of you. From his point of view, again, remember, these are high school kids. You got rewarded. I got shot. You are living in the lap of luxury. You landed. You didn't just land on your feet. You landed on a, 5,000 Egyptian cotton thread, California.
Not 5,000 thread.
Right, 5,000. California king bed in the middle of Bel-Air. Like, you did, yes, both of us played a part in what happened that night, but I'm the only one that got punished. And now that, because remember also from Trey's point of view, you heard when they were talking about the basketball team. He's the star player. They have not won a game since he left. So he was like, yo, but if you come back now, we got enough time to win enough games to get to the state. Like, you leaving is hurting everybody. Right? You're not the only one that's trying to get a scholarship to school. You ain't the only one that's trying to win a champion. Like, you know what I'm saying? So again, from his point of view, yes, it's the neighborhood shit. It's the jealousy. All of that plays a part, but it's not just him being selfish. I think there's a legitimate reason why he feels, why he's angry. And again, because if I'm being honest, if it were me and Abby and some shit went down that Abby started, because she probably would be the one that started, right? And she end up, in Bel-Air living in a mansion. You know what I'm saying? And my ass got shot. Oh, I got a problem. And now that you can come back home, everything's been cleared up. There's no more danger. You like, I'm staying here. Fuck it. I'm like,
and I got well. There is a certain element that you have to feel sorry for him about because he has to go back to this. But it wasn't like they were living in the hood either. It wasn't
no,
like
they was living in a decent neighborhood.
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
was a
glad that
decent
they didn't do
neighborhood.
that. I'm glad that they didn't make Will and his mama like damn near living on the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad.
Right.
I'm glad that
Well,
they made
now-
them like middle class. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and she
All
went
he
out
had
here
to do was
working 2
listen
and
to
3
what Will
jobs.
told his ass to lay low.
Yeah. Well, he should. Well, I don't know. I guess they were watching him because as soon as he came out the house, he got shot. So
No, Trey don't know how to move. Clearly, Trey doesn't know how to move. You bring the gun to the situation, but then it's in the bag, and then clearly you can't fight because them people was beating your behind in the middle of the basketball court. So, and first of all, I would just like to say I resent the fact that you think I'm going to be the one to jump off whatever the issue is.
Okay, pause. Hold on. See, we about to
I don't
get into
start
family.
stuff, I finish it.
Hold on. We about to get into some family business. Retro Juggernaut, y'all have both met Abby.
Oh, I'm about to say, don't put me in this. I ain't got nothing to do with this.
Between me and Abby, who is most likely to start the fight?
Not me.
The fact that they don't want to answer already tells me
Because
because
they were gonna say you and not me. And
no, they not.
They
They just say me.
Yeah, that's what that means.
I would listen. If y'all really think it's me, I'll eat that. Between me and Abby, y'all really think it's me? I'll eat it.
They haven't seen that side of me. They've only seen the nice, sweet side. They haven't seen the jump off side. They haven't seen that. they haven't met her. They haven't met Tanya. They don't know her.
Oh my,
we might not have met Tanya, but we met LaTanya. Shit. All right, my bad. That's enough. All right, just stay focused. Okay.
All right.
But anyway, so Trey gone home, and Will calls his mother, and Will, I love this conversation between him and his mother because his mother was on the bring your ass home train too, but he basically used her own words against him. He was like, "Listen, you're the one that said my crown is out there. I just have to be ready to go get it." He said, "I'm ready to go get it." And you also told me there's more to life than these 14 miles of Philadelphia. And I'm living it. I'm experiencing it. And it's almost like you threw your own words back at her. And what could she say? Well, I mean, what could she say?
I don't care what I said. Bring your ass back home.
Right. I mean, I guess she could have said bring your ass home,
but you know, part of
playtime is over. Trouble has passed. Bring your butt back home.
I have to kind of understand the element that she's in because one, she's a single parent. She's raised this boy to be a pretty decent teenager. He's got college aspirations. It's been a team of them. And now he's left her behind. But guess what, Mama? You got the opportunity to get up and come on out here to Bel-Air too. There's nothing keeping you in Philly. So, you know, you can.
Yeah, but again, I think some of that goes back to whatever this beef is that we don't know the story to. Because some of this is about the adult business and not the kids.
Can I say my theory about what the adult business is?
Hold on, before you say your theory, you saw what Xavier said.
Yes, Wiley, with your yes. That's how they know I'm the nice one. Right there.
Aaron Alexander said Will did offer Trey to visit Cali for the summer. Trey did have the opportunity as well. Summer vacations can open opportunities. That's facts.
And it's not his fault that he's a shitty ass basketball player. I mean, Will got scholarship because he's a good basketball player. I can't help that. Right. I can't help that. You're a shitty ass basketball player. Why you mad? You should be happy for your homework get put on. You will get put on.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the end of this episode. So, Abby, give us your theory before we roll into episode 7.
So the theory involves my pseudo husband Reed. I'm sleeping under your bed while you don't know I'm in your house. Okay, so here's what I think happened.
See, that's a real stalker.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Oh, really?
I could have sworn they said that they met before. Ooh, cookies. I could have sworn they said that Reed and Aunt Viv had like right before she quit all of her art things, she had met him. Right. So I am thinking that either Will or Ashley, one of them two children, belong to Aunt Viv and Reed. Now I feel like she got pregnant with Will. Carlton and Hillary were already here. Her and Uncle Phil had a falling out. She got with Reed. She got knocked up. She went to Philly to figure out what she was going to do about her marriage. Had Will there and didn't want to tell Phil and left Will with Aunt Vi. And came back.
I got a very similar theory.
Listen, that's what theory. And that's why Aunt Vi was so pissed when they had that conversation between Vi and Viv about Will staying in Philly. Like, oh, I can't believe you gave me this child so many years ago to raise as my own, and now you kind of like taking him back, and now you don't want to get this kid back to me. That's what it was giving me. I feel like
Abby, you might be on to something right there.
I feel like Will is her oops baby by Reed. Either her or Ashley, because
I think it's Ashley more than anything.
Because she's such an oddball to the rest of the family.
Listen, Hillary is chocolate, Carlton is chocolate. Now let's look at Ashley. Who she look like?
One of these kids is doing their own thing.
Who
you know what?
What's up, El Teddy? We gotta get you up here next time. He watches Bel-Air too. He reviews Bel-Air on his channel. We gotta get him up here.
You know what? I like your theory better than mine because mine was going to be baby Nikki. So you remember the bank they have another child. I'm feeling like Viv is going to get pregnant by Reed, and that's going to be baby Nikki. So
Viv is Carlton's mama. I said she had because Carlton and Will could literally be like could be like Irish twins or just like 9-10 months apart in age.
Yeah.
So true. Like right after she had Carlton, she stressed out. She got 2 babies. She having to give up her dream of being the artiste. And Uncle Phil is at this point, he's not big money Phil. He's small change Phil. The ends ain't meeting. They arguing and fussing and fighting. Then here comes Rico Suave out the corner talk about you can be an artist, you can do all of it, and all of these things. I believe in you. And oops, she slipped and fell on his penis, and now she's pregnant. And so,
but do you think Jeffrey
figure out what she gonna do because she don't want to have an abortion? And somehow that man done found out that Will is his son, and that's why he done brought it back around. And they all meeting at the front. It's gonna be a whole shenanigan and foolishness.
It's definitely a secret there, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of it. Honestly,
I don't know. I just feel like something is off. That man is way too familiar with her for it just to be. Oh, I'm so invested in your art.
Her house, as we see in episode 6. Walk up in her house and walk up in her room where she painting that like he's like Uncle Phil tell him you a guest. Go do guest stuff.
Go do guest stuff. Right.
Yes, let's get to the episode so I can cuss out this white woman. Go ahead. I was waiting on her.
She acted real bad. So the episode opens off episode 6, and we're rolling into episode 6 now. So episode 6 starts off with Ashley coming to her parents and letting her parents know, hey, they're roasting Will on social media. And you start going through social media, you seeing all the comments about Will having stinky breath and he a snake and he this, he that. Like, you know, Trey's going too far now. He's going real too far. And Will's seeing all this and he's visibly upset. But you a child living in my house, tell me you need space? Look, you need space in my house.
Go outside. There's plenty of space outside.
Yeah, you go outside.
All the space you want. Going outside.
Yeah. So, you know, Will got a little attitude and he comes huffing and puffing down the stairs and tear them people expensive ass vase, you know. But I like how Uncle Phil handled him, though. Uncle Phil
I love that moment. Oh, that moment was so beautiful.
He handled him with a little tenderness, you know. Even though I still think this man, he put some hands on these teenage boys. These boys is just Marvin. What you gonna do?
Hey, put the pause
on, yeah.
Put the pause on, man. You gotta grab them up.
And so, Aunt Viv, she's stressing out at this point because she's found out that her caterer has counseled on her. And, you know, she got this big event that they having at the house. They're not prepared for it. They got to get gift bags together. They got to get food together. So, she calls up Hillary and tells Hillary. Well, first she tries to ask Jeffrey for help. And Uncle Phil quickly shut that down. Like he got other assignments.
Yeah, he handling some campaign stuff.
What do you think the assignments were that he had?
Well, we know what the assignments were to find out why his endorsement got pulled. Remember his endorsement that got pulled, and Jeffrey was figuring out why, and we found out why.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. The endorsement got pulled. And then you also see Hillary. She's, I guess this is her first week or maybe first day in the influencer house, and she's trying to put some content out there. And them stupid ass black ass brothers come and they try to pull a prank on her. Why
gotta be the black ass brothers?
That's their name.
Oh, my bad. Okay,
that is their name.
My bad.
Wait, that's their name?
Yes, that's their name.
Yep.
The black ass brothers.
Mm.
Yeah, I said the same thing. Yeah. About that. They also put her on some knowledge too, because they was like, yo, Kato, whatever.
Yeah.
Avon, whatever his name is.
Did you just Avon?
They was like, he don't play that. You got to have this content out there. You got to have this content posted, or you're gonna be in trouble, or you're not gonna be able to stay here in this house, So, she kind of shoot him off or whatever. And then he sends her a text telling her that she needed to go viral by the end of the day. Or no, he called her.
He called her first.
He called her, yeah. He called her and told her, "What are you working on your content?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get some up right now." And so, she kind of shoot them off like they're a nuisance. I hope we don't see too much more of them because they're pointless characters. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think that we're seeing here with Hillary? Do you think she's going to put up with this?
I think she bit off more than she can chew,
like how she did with her family.
I think she bit off more than she can chew, because
I agree.
I mean, with any one of us, all of us create some sort of content. We do it on our time, our way, and how we like to do it. And to be told, no, don't do it like this, do it like this. No, don't do it like that, do it like this. And being told when to do it and how, no, man, no. That right there can just put that right there personally is gonna put. I think she's coming to that breaking point where she's gonna be like, no, I'm straight on this. She'll be back in the house. She'll be back in the pool house soon.
But she's not, and I'm gonna tell you why she's not gonna be back in the pool house. Because remember when her mother's sorority sister said, your mother says you'll be back home by the end of the month. So like the fact that her mother already had that clash.
Now she's motivated to stay out.
She's motivated, right? And you heard her say, she said, "I'd rather live on the street than move back in here." So now whether
she's up at Jazz house,
right now, right? There you go, Abby. Now whether she ends up at home, where she ends up.
Abby.
But I agree. I don't think she's going to stay in the influence.
That's where I would go.
So that's where I would go.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to end up at the influencer house for long. I agree with that part, but she ain't going home.
She going to Jazz house. I agree with you, Abby.
Yeah, I'm with her. I would go to Jazz house too.
Listen, sure would. That looks like a good time. I don't know.
Look like we all would get along. We all would get along.
Nah, I'm with Xavier. She gonna get turned out.
By Jazz, yeah.
Yeah, but she about to open the OnlyFans.
Next thing, oh God.
No. Don't get him started. Lord, don't get him
started. First post up on OnlyFans,
listen,
right.
She's not the only one. Listen, I done contemplate several times.
I want to be a foot model. If I could get
exactly.
Into that algorithm,
I just got a fresh pedicure. Don't forget. Because listen,
they say people make good money.
That girl makes $20,000 a day with her feet.
Okay, I'm good with that.
I
can make $20,000 a day.
Since I'm BBW, I can make twice as much since I'm twice.
Okay, listen, let me find the right fetish. Okay?
Listen.
Okay, next episode.
All right, so go ahead. My bad, you doing this?
No, you go ahead, OnlyFans. Go ahead, foot fetish.
Can we get to the cussing the white lady out?
No, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Okay, so shit. I don't. So Hillary comes through in the clutch. She comes to the house. Lisa shows up early to, make sure everything is everything. And Carlton is happy to see her, and Will is still giving her the cold shoulder, the side eye. Okay, quintessential. We might need to talk, girl.
Right.
But she's still getting this. He's Will still giving her the cold shoulder or whatever. What happened after that? I'm trying to make sure we stay in order.
She asked him, what's up. She asked him what's up. He was like, "Yo, I'm just gonna give you your space. Let this be this."
Right, but that's after he saw her and Carlton together and thought that maybe they had gotten back together, that something was happening. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to give you your space."
He's still trying to honor his promise to stay out her way.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. He can't say it to her, but yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, because they were working on a little poem, right? Because they had a little poem or something they were supposed to read at the
yeah.
They were rehearsing, yeah.
Right, They were rehearsing, and she kind of addresses what happened last week where Carlton tried to kiss her, and he was like, "No, it's cool, we're good." But Will walked in on the moment where they were kind of like leaning in, and from the outside looking in, it could look like it was more going on than was really there, but I don't know. Okay, let me ask y'all a question for real. All right, real talk. Do y'all think Will is violating guy code by even pursuing Lisa?
Hell yeah.
That was mighty aggressive. Jesus Christ.
Because I said that in the first episode. I was like, I get it. I see where they're going with this. Like, I could tell from the beginning where they were going with this. But I was like, regardless of how we might personally feel about Carlton, that is some guy code violation.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. One, because that's your family. But at the same time, I don't think that Will set out to
did it purposefully. No.
Yes, because at that point in time, she was the only person that was welcoming to him, friendly to him. He went up there to the schoolhouse. Everybody would treat him, kind of like he was the outsider. She was the only one that kind of welcomed him in. Even when he went over there to that pool party, everybody else was kind of like, looking at him like he doesn't belong here. So, he kind of flocked to her. Carlton kind of pushed them into this narrative that they're at right now because he treated his cousin so poorly. I think that if Carlton would have been more welcoming to his cousin, then there wouldn't have been a need for him to kind of flock to Lisa. But because Lisa was the only one that's showing him love, besides Hillary and Ashley, she was his first friend.
That still don't mean he ain't violating code, though. I get it. I understand how it happened, but he's still violating.
Friend zone.
First of all, he found out that she was his ex in enough time to where he should have immediately, any type of tingly anything, he should have cut that off immediately. Oh, you his ex? Bet. Okay, cool. And then that's the end of it. Bye. That's it.
What? Exactly. He was supposed to friend zone her.
I'm with you, Xavier. If you want to extort me, I'm going to extort you right back. Oh, you sniffing coke? It wouldn't be no Xanax. You sniffing coke.
In this sense, we are in modern times. And that's what these damn teenagers do nowadays is talk to each other exes. It happens.
Where they do that at?
All over the damn. These teenagers now? Shit.
I don't know. My baby is 22.
It happens.
So there's no code anymore? Like these kids don't have no code?
Some of these kids don't have code.
Them the ones that ain't got no home training.
They don't know nothing about that code.
But I feel like Will actually did try to honor that guy code when Carlton told him to stay the fuck away from. First of all, you wouldn't have threatened me like that, but
but that's after he was threatening him. Like Will shouldn't have just happened.
But he tried to stay away from Lisa, but Lisa's bothered by the fact, like, yo, why you give me the cold shoulder?
Because Will went to the extreme. Like, we can still be cool and talk. We just don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
intimacy.
Also, let's hold both sides accountable. Also, Lisa knows that that's her ex's cousin.
Lisa,
why you all up in this little boy face?
You're right.
Why you continue to be in his face?
Yeah, I agree.
It's-
Lisa wrong.
I'm holding both of them accountable. They both breaking
Oh.
code.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, so that's going on. So we
That's
got
true.
the whole
That's
Will.
true. That's facts. That's facts. What
Some adults no
like
longer have a
he said,
code, so why would these teens have any? Yep.
some of these teens don't have code. If they see
That's why
the
they don't
adults
have no
doing it,
code, because they was raised by adults who don't have no code.
if they
That's
listen,
true.
if they see the adults doing it, where's the boundaries at?
Ain't none.
I guess there isn't.
I guess not. Okay. So the event has started. Now the other thing we found out when Lisa talked to Aunt Viv, Lisa let it be clear that she hates her stepmama. And we find out that the stepmama is pregnant. We find out that her father remarried a little too close for everybody's comfort, and that the stepmama is pregnant. So that
we
information.
found out that he was talking to the stepmother in 2018.
Well, we didn't get to that part yet.
We ain't got there yet. We ain't got, because that's when I'm gonna cuss her out. So
right, we ain't got to that
But
part.
where we're at right now, we're at the
Got
event.
there yet.
So the house,
The event has started.
The
Right.
event has started. Guests
Did I tell you that
started.
dress that Aunt Viv had on was everything?
Everything.
And them sorority sisters, them sorority sisters there, they in the mix. Of course, Joan, she looking for Jeffrey in the looker. And the rest of the sisters.
Listen, I'm looking for Jeffrey too. Wait.
I thought you were looking for Jazz.
Do y'all feel
I
like
am. What you mean? I am.
Feel like Angela?
I need some brother husbands. What you mean? What you mean? I'm looking for both of them.
Oh my
Is that her name? What's her name? Angela? Was that her name? Angela? That was with Fred.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel like she was? Do y'all feel like she was trying to? She was trying to how can I put it? Steal the show or be a?
Yeah, absolutely.
She absolutely was.
Okay.
She absolutely was. Because even at that part when they first get there,
from the reception,
and they're talking about colleges, and the minute she started talking about
swimming for Howard,
right? Swimming for Howard, and Joan is like, "HU, that's my alum. You let us know." And they like all of them are talking to Lisa. Then she hits us with the fake
baby kicking.
Oh, the baby's kicking, and I was like, "Girl," and I felt like that absolutely was just to take the shine.
When that hoe said, "Oh, sometimes I forget," and then he just kicks. Which you forgot you was pregnant? You forgot you carrying a bowling ball on the front of your body? You don't forget you pregnant. Okay. I can feel the cuss out coming. Go ahead. Come on.
It's brewing.
It's right here in my throat. Yeah. Go ahead.
So Ashley's friends show up, and of course, Hillary gives her the thumbs up, like, "Girl, she's cute. You need to just go on and tell her how you feel," which I thought was bad advice, but okay.
Why is that bad advice?
I felt like it was bad advice. I felt like, and this, maybe I'm wrong when I'm saying what I'm about to say, but until you find out what team she playing for, I would have played that close to the vest. I might have asked some probing questions to find out if she was even into girls. Like, I don't know if I would have just came right out with it. I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Okay. I can see where you're coming from. Oh no, Miss Karen, that's a white lady. That's a white lady. That's not a black woman pastor. She didn't have the agency. It was like one speck of pepper, of salt.
Maybe she's biracial. Maybe she's. I don't think she's biracial. I don't think she's biracial.
She's not by nothing. She white.
Now she not by nothing.
She white. I just really want her to understand, ma'am, keep playing with me and you're gonna have a mysterious accident in your home. Pregnant women should stay off the stairs. That's all I'm gonna say. They should stay off the stairs. When you've done what you've done, daughter, you should keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on your swivel when we're in the house with me. And we alone.
She gonna have a mysterious accident.
So then the stepmama also.
That's what that sounds like to me.
So then the stepmama also talks to Aunt Viv about doing something, and Viv was like, "Girl, you good? Just be here. You all right? We good." And she actually asked Aunt Viv 2 or 3 times, but this was the first time she brought up wanting to do something, wanting to be a part of,
Aunt Viv was entirely too nice to her, because the first time she would have said it to me, I'd have been like, "Hey ho, You lucky you got an invite to the house. Sit your ass down and be quiet. That's what you need to do. That's just me. I'm rude. Don't go by me.
Hello. Most likely to set it off. Hello.
For some things, yes, I will set it. I will burn that motherfucker to the ground. What you mean?
Anyway, so
you won't need to turn the utilities off because there ain't gonna be no house left.
Abby, the scene you want is coming up.
Come on, Harold. I'm waiting.
Okay, we here. You and Juggernaut. So the next scene we see Aunt Viv talking to evil stepmama, and that's when she again approaches her about talking about how to get close to Lisa because she just can't seem to connect with her and wanting to do something special on the program. And Aunt Viv tells her the program is full, honey. We don't have no space. And Will actually walks over to them because he sees that the situation is getting a little tense. And he starts asking her about the baby and how's everything going. And she started talking too much. You know how people start talking and they don't realize they running their mouth. And she started talking about the first time her and Fred went away for the weekend together. And she starts talking about a golf tournament in Palm Springs. And Aunt Viv was like, what? She said, that was in 2018. Gail didn't die till 2019. And baby, if she could have got any paler, she would have been the color of a sheet. Now, Abby, Juggernaut, go for it.
Have at it. Go get her.
Are you taking your earrings off?
So, Ebony,
first of all,
oh my God.
Oh, Lord. Good thing we ain't monetized because we sure about to lose the gone.
We sure are.
First of all,
enjoy.
Bitch, I told your stupid ass to go sit the fuck down somewhere. Why is you back in my face asking something I already told you no to? Why are you here? Why? First of all,
leave. Leave this place.
Your dumb ass gonna get out here and run your mouth. And now we all know you the hoe we thought you was. That's what the issue. That's what the issue. We thought you was the hoe, but we really didn't have a confirmation until you done opened your mouth and said something. Now we know you the hoe. Now I need you to stay in a hoe's place and go sit the fuck down and shut up.
Hello, Barbara. This is Shirley.
Listen. And Fred, you punk ass weak kneed nigga. Oh my God. Your ass finna get it too. First of all, how dare you?
CG, we gonna need a editorial button over here.
I'm gonna try and curve it. So you was cheating on your clearly sick wife with this raggedy ass white.
That was bogus.
This raggedy. You ain't even got a nice looking white girl. So you went to the bottom of the barrel. You went out to the trailer park on a call and met this broad, and now you done upgraded this whore. No, you met her. None of her teeth matched in her mouth, and she was spitting tobacco to the side. You know what? Go straight to hell. Go straight to hell. I hope the ancestors are haunting you every night for this bullshit, sir. I hope you don't never get a good night's sleep ever again in your entire life. I want to see some of them little Niglet dolls from that horror movie.
Wow.
It's a wrap.
Listen. And then, Miss White Lady, you had the nerve, the gall, the unmitigated gall, the audacity to take your big four-headed ass up to that girl after she did that beautiful poem about her mother. Talk about, well, I just feel like I need to be able to say something. Bitch, nobody asked you for anything. This is not about you. Go sit the fuck down. But no, I asked Fred, who gives a fuck what Fred says? This is not Fred's event. If Fred wants you to say something, he will buy you a goddamn karaoke machine at your goddamn house. You can say whatever the fuck you want. But here, sit your ass down. For you get knocked the fuck out. Your stomach is pregnant, not your face. Don't get minked up in this bitch. Yeah?
Okay.
So I'm sorry. I have a trick. I'm gonna put my earrings back on now. Listen. I have a that's a trigger for me. I have a thing about
I see
spouses cheating and then you marrying the hoe you cheated with. See my father, God rest his soul. So I just have an issue. And if y'all really don't understand the fact that I have an issue, you can't.
We get it. Well, I already know.
Because I tried to kill that broad. I
know your story. I know your story, Abby. We know the story. Well, I know the story. So while all of this is going on, Abby basically gave us the rundown. While all of this is going on, Michael Ealy he done left the party and found his way to Aunt Viv's studio, and he is all up in the mix. Now, after Aunt Viv found out about the affair, she needed a little time to herself. So she went to her studio only to run into him. And you could tell that she's just not comfortable around him.
She's not comfortable with him.
Because they have a kid and she knows it and he doesn't.
Okay. Well, that could very well be it.
Ashley is the kid they got together.
That's if it's either Will or Ashley. One of them two kids belong to Aunt Viv and that man. One of the two.
So he may be Will's father.
Yes. Because Will said he never actually met his father. They only told him that he left when he was 4.
And then going back to the very first episode when Uncle Phil wanted to send Will home for his behavior, he's like, I don't know if he's gonna make it out here. She was like, we owe him this ever since because they even
what happened with his dad and they cut it off.
Right. They mentioned, they keep alluding to the father. They've alluded to the father a couple of times.
But I feel
we don't
like
know if Uncle Phil actually met the father.
I feel like if Uncle Phil truly knew this was
Will's father,
he don't know. Be here with us no more.
He don't know. It's something about this dude that Uncle Phil don't like, but I don't think he has any inkling about anything like that. But
I don't either, because Jeffrey would have took him on out of here. Utilities cut off, water not running anymore.
When he was being super creepy, first of all, Uncle Phil said, hey, stop touching it. Go be a guest. Stop.
Right. He told him, he was like, I'm gonna need you to go do some guest shit. Get up out here. But he basically he talks.
Sure, it is. Anything is plausible.
Yeah, he talks Aunt Viv into including her picture that she had just painted in the silent auction. And he tells her, if it makes more than $15,000, then you basically got to do a show at my gallery. And of course, he makes a bid on the picture for $15,000. But Uncle Phil come behind him and put a $20,000 on it. He put a $20,000 on it.
Wow. He clearly was like, "Oh no, nigga, that's not what we doing. Not my wife's. No, sir. No. I'm surprised. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if he stepped too far out of his what he's doing, and he end up like Rashad with his water cut off.
He is, because he already told him his water gonna get cut off because he already put Jeffrey on that case too. He already put Jeffrey on it.
Oh, Jeffrey said he already on it.
Yeah, he said I'm already on it. So, his water might get turned off too. It might not get fully disconnected, but it might stop running for a little while. So Ashley kind of discovers. So the little goofy little boy, goes to get them some drinks or whatever. So, Ashley kind of looks at Hillary like, should I tell her? And Hillary kind of like, yeah, go ahead, go for it. And then the little girl, she was getting ready to tell the little girl how she felt about her until the little girl started admiring Will and started talking about Will. Then she dropped the dime that, I'm digging your cousin or whatever. And that just crushed her right there. And then, of course, Ashley had to make up some kind of reason for them to leave. She got them up out of there. Like, first of all, I'm not really quite sure this is a kid-friendly event. I don't see any other children at this event. So I'm just trying to figure out why were they even there to begin with,
They were only there because Ashley was there. And so for her not to be the lone kid at the party, they invited her little friends so she would have somebody to interact with while the adults was adulting. So
adultering?
That too.
That too, right?
Listen.
So it's crazy though, because you definitely see that there's secrets, and there's several secrets. So I don't think it just stops with the whole paternity situation regarding Will. I think that's going to come into play very soon. I think there's and it may be centered around the beef between the sisters. I hope they tie all that in, but it just seems like some sideline beefs that's going on. And we see that Uncle Phil is getting ready to have a big beef with Reed. So I don't think Reed's going to be with us much longer. But, Reed's one of the serial killers, stalkers, the perfect guy type situation. He ain't gonna kill easy. Them stalkers, they don't kill easy. So I don't think he's just going to go away quietly. I don't think he's going to just go away like Rashad did. I think he's going to be around for a little while. That's the storyline.
Listen, if Uncle Phil is using Jeffrey to turn people water off, he needs to turn Fred water off too. Fred can go. We don't need that. We don't need him.
Feel like
he should fix it so that Fred and the wife die in a horrible accident.
Ebony, she's pregnant. She's pregnant, Abby, she is pregnant.
Fuck her. Nobody cares. Fuck them kids. Nobody care about that.
Walk back in on.
The baby ain't even here yet.
Okay, all right. Where do we leave off? We got Abby. I'm gonna need you to just let that go.
No, because he said we're talking about Uncle Phil and the friend, and I said he should use Jeffrey to. Cause first of all, sir, you the chief of police. I don't know if you have a law degree. I don't know what kind of degrees you got, but how you just. I don't know if you have any court experience. How you just all willy-nilly gonna run for district attorneys? That don't make sense.
I said the same thing. I was wondering, is he a lawyer?
Does
he have a law degree?
I guess he got to have a law degree. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the qualification. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think you have to have a law degree.
Have you even practiced law? Criminal law, defense attorney? I mean, have you practiced any area of law to go be the district attorney, the prosecuting attorney?
Right. What?
I don't know. But Uncle Phil, but G got Uncle Phil that information. And of course, that just added fuel to the fire when Aunt Viv, basically told Fred that, he could live, he could leave or whatever. And then that's when Uncle Phil brought up the part about the fact that he running against him for district attorney.
Right. But somebody gonna spread the truth about him cheating on his sick wife with this mealy mouth white lady.
That's what's going to come out.
Yeah, I think that's going to come out.
That's going to come out. And I think that Jeffrey's going to leak it. That's going to
and he should. And I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that.
And
if you want to shut the water off on top of that, I'm cool.
He kept on at her about that speech. And she told her, listen, this is not your house. You can leave. And you can
did y'all okay, so did we hit on the Carlton part where Will went to go check on Carl? Well, Will was talking to Lisa, and Carlton overheard them talking about him, basically. And Lisa was saying how she don't know if she could deal with him emotionally. He's draining. It's just a little bit too much for him to deal with, for her to deal with. And, Carlton overhears it. And of course, Carlton does what he does best. He went and got high.
He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't have did them rails, boy.
I mean, he went and got high. So when Will went to go check on him because, it was almost time for them to do their speech, Carlton is just high.
I feel like he pulled down about 4 lines.
Yeah, and he just had like a whole breakdown.
He had a whole.
He really had but again, this was another moment where Will was there for him. Like even after he just cussed Will ass out, because I think Will understood. Like Will got it. Like
he going through something. He don't know what he going through.
Right.
But he going through something.
Right.
But first of all, you can take that Xanax from him. If that's the first thing you want to do, help your cousin, get that Xanax from him because he pulling down about 4 file lines back to back. He needs some help.
He definitely has. It's definitely a problem.
How is he getting it all crushed up though? Because he crushes some shit.
He's crushing it. It ain't hard to crush Phil.
Okay, so he's walking. So you're saying that he's walking around with a vial of crushed up Xanax?
Maybe
because when he had that vial, I don't think that was Xanax. I think he's doing.
I'm telling you, I think it's Xanax. I don't think it's cocaine.
I think it's a combination.
I think it's a combination of both.
I think it's a combination of both.
Because if you do one, you will definitely do the other.
One of us is right.
Yeah, he got to have a real strong prescription of Xanax for him to be out here wilding out like this off these lines that he's snorting.
Well, as many Xanax as he done sniffed. Jesus Christ, like.
Because at this point, he
like
that boy needs some. Yeah.
First of all, how his parents don't know. Like he's not doing like a little bit.
Yeah,
He's doing copious amounts of it.
The change in his behavior. His behavior is erratic.
I think they know though.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's denial. Look
how Uncle Phil walked in the room and was like, "I know what the problem is."
They're just not willing to accept it. They're
right.
Not, you just like the house manager ain't on point. He pulled up on Ashley. He put up on Ashley all the way across town on her friends. He rolled up on her. You can't tell me that Jeffrey don't know what's up with these kids. You know, that's his job to keep an eye on these kids.
I think that it goes back to whatever breakdown or something that happened with Carlton. Again, we don't know that, but I agree. I agree that they probably should be paying more attention to what they see.
Asking questions.
They're in denial. I just think they're in denial. I mean, honestly, I just think they're in denial.
I agree.
Xavier, you rude.
What did Xavier say, child?
I would have let his ass overdose and videotaped it and gave it to us.
Wow. Damn.
Diabolical.
Lord, I got two of y'all to deal with. Lord, have mercy.
I say the same thing, Xavier. I mean, I don't know what kind of downer this is. He's snorting because he.
All right, so
and y'all talk about me being in Facebook jail and them kind of comments.
Between Ebby,
you stay in Facebook jail, Lord.
Oh no.
I have never been in Facebook jail. I don't know how people keep. I have
never been in Facebook jail. Never, ever, ever.
I'm out on parole right now.
I have never.
Well, you shouldn't bully others.
You be saying crazy. I feel like you be saying crazy stuff. Listen,
I didn't say anything.
My Facebook page is my Christian Mingle account. I don't. There's never anything crazy on there.
Create your alternate.
My mom over there. I can't
create an alter ego on social media, Marvin.
Hey, it was nothing bad compared to what you see on Facebook or anything. That wasn't bad.
Well, remember what your mama always taught you. Can't worry about what other people.
Damn. Right.
So if your friends jump off the bridge, are you gonna jump off?
Exactly.
I was already on house arrest though.
Damn. Alrighty then. Well, so pretty much
my last incident was May 16th of 2021. They had to get me in March.
Well, so you ought to stop acting up on Facebook. Then.
Exactly. So that's pretty much the episode until we get to the last scene where it was inevitable. It had been building up to this. We see Will and Lisa by the pool and they end up kissing. I was waiting for Carlton to come out the sky and like suplex Will or something crazy. Like I kept waiting.
Was he watching?
No, they didn't know. They had a whole kiss situation.
So again, I hold them both accountable because they both know better. They listen. I don't know how they think this is going to end because I don't think anybody's going to be happy with that. Like that's not going to play well to anybody. Because everybody knows how Carlton feel about Lisa. Like that's just not going to play well. I think her name should have been something else, and they should have brought another girl to be Lisa, who has no attachment to Carlton in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Because I know we don't like to compare the two shows, but Lisa and they ended up engaged and almost married. So I don't know.
Except for their parents getting together, which that was a twist. But I said the same thing too. I wish that Lisa would have been a different character, and they would have brought Lisa later on in. But that's where it goes back to what I was saying in our chat. I almost feel like they're trying to blend all the seasons together in one season arc. But I mean, they've been renewed for a second season, so you kind of slow down the story a little bit because I feel like
they've already filmed all of it. So
yeah. I almost feel like they tried to cover as much as they could in one season in case they didn't get renewed for another season. So I think that's why we got Lisa so early on in the story. Well, I'm definitely liking this. I'm definitely here for it. I'm gonna be back.
Oh yeah, I'm all in.
I'm all in. Does anyone have any confirmation on how many episodes we got for season 1? Is it? I hope it's 10.
No.
I hope it's 10.
It's somewhere between 8 and 10. We're already on episode 6. So I feel like it's somewhere between 8 and 10.
And I feel like this season is moving fast, but of course, Peacock, they released the first 3 episodes at one time. So that's why I guess it feels like we're moving so fast, because we really did we binge watch the first 3 episodes. So, I hope that we get 10 episodes though. I do. I'm enjoying it. All right. We'll try to be in here on Thursday and knock down episode 7. So we appreciate y'all coming to hang out with us tonight. We're kind of off schedule, but we've enjoyed it.
And we're going to try to get
you guys tonight. We had a good time with y'all.
Yes, we did. We're going to try to get El Teddy up here. He's another hoot and holler.
Oh, Lord. So you put El Teddy, Xavier, and Emmy?
Oh, it's gonna be a shit show. Listen, her name was Jackie. Thank you, Lady B. So maybe they're gonna bring Jackie from out of nowhere, out of Philly, to break up what's happening with Lisa, and because that was Tyra Banks' character that worked at the store.
She worked at the store, yeah.
So maybe they'll bring Jackie in some kind of way. Maybe she'll end up with Carlton, so Carlton is not so stuck up.
Yeah, they need to give Carlton a new love interest.
I don't know. Maybe he'll meet Jackie at rehab. I don't know. But there's 10 episodes this season. There's 10 episodes. So
great.
Of course.
All right, y'all.
Where's power?
I'll tell you, we're not going to take lies this evening. We're not going to take the lies. We're not going to do that. Nope.
Out of the 3 of us, I'm the good one, and that's the truth.
Actually,
that's absolutely not the truth either.
No, I'm talking about between me, Abby, and El Teddy. It is.
No,
me.
it's me.
It's you, Crystal.
Why would you think that? Don't listen to her.
I might believe that. I actually might believe that.
Oh, thank you so much.
I think I believe that.
You believe that?
I think I do. I think I do.
Okay, you forgot I've been in a room with the 2 of y'all when y'all were playing cards. You believe that?
Oh, it's time to go. So you can find us on our social media. I'm Retro CG. You can follow us on TSF Entertainment on Instagram. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube. It's time to go, y'all. Bye.